Hi lovelies and welcome back to this channel. If you are new here, my name is Belinda Strana. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Don't forget to please subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications so that anytime I upload a video, you will be the first person to be notified. And to my returning subscribers, thank you so much for all the love and support. To those people that share my videos, that leave commentaries and also educate you guys are the real MVP. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Alright lovelies, let's dive into today's video. So lovelies, I came across this video on my For You page on TikTok, and I just thought to share with you guys where this, palm colored woman is actually here to share the reason why, black people or black women is being treated the same way, or the way they are treated at the medical, care or medical, centers. Guys, I'm just going to roll the clip as well as some of the stitches I was able to put together. Please leave me your own thought in the comment section of what you think of this video. Alright lovelies, let's dive into it.
Do black people feel pain the same way as white people? A 2016 study showed that 50% of medical students and residents who were studied thought that black people couldn't feel pain the same way because they had thicker skin or their nerves didn't work the same way. Where is this from? It's a holdover from the days of slavery when white people had to feel better about using slaves. Black people used to be operated on without anesthesia and were used in studies without their consent, so this was a convenient lie. To this day, black people are less likely to get the same treatment in terms of pain medication. They're more likely to wait longer in the emergency room. They're less likely to be taken seriously. It's a holdover from the days of slavery. And in my field, this plays a huge role in the black maternal and morbidity crisis. The call to action. Doctors, nurses, anybody in the medical field, check your implicit bias. If you see somebody spreading these lies, stop them, but still stop yourself every time you're caring for somebody who has a different skin color than you, and check your bias. If you are a woman of color, speak up. If this is happening to you, ask to speak to a different nurse, a different doctor, report them, speak up. You guys had lots of great questions on one of my recent TikToks about why black women are more likely to die or have complications during pregnancy or childbirth. So let's talk about it. So much of why this is because of societal and structural racism. What does that mean? It means all the toxic stress and the racist things that black women face every single day in their lives. When a person is faced with chronic stress, their body responds by releasing stress hormones. We know this. This is a medical fact. This is not open to interpretation. So imagine being a black woman constantly exposed to racism every single day. So where does that leave us? Black mothers are more likely to develop preeclampsia, diabetes, need to deliver by C-section, have babies that are born small, and much higher rates of preterm or premature birth. If you're watching this and you're a black girl or a black woman and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I'm so scared, I don't want to have a baby now, that's where I want us to pause for a moment. I don't want you to think that if you're black in this country, you cannot have a healthy baby or a healthy pregnancy. There are steps that we can take to decrease this risk, and I'm going to cover that more tomorrow. If you've seen my other TikToks, you know what I'm talking about today has to do with black maternal morbidity and mortality. That is, women in this country who are black have higher rates of complications and death in pregnancy and childbirth. But in order to not just be scared, let's talk about how we can take action against this. 1, find a doctor or a midwife that you trust, who you feel truly hears you, who doesn't brush off your concerns or make you feel silly for asking questions. If they do that, move on. 2, have you considered hiring a doula? These are support people who can help be your advocates during birth and even in postpartum. And if you can't afford an official doula, who of your family and friends can fill in that role for you? 3, ask questions, read the books, take the classes, hold your doctors, your midwives, your nurses accountable. Say, well, this is what I read. Here's what I heard. 4, I've said it before, but move on and report things when you are treated in a way that is not just or equitable. You and your baby deserve a happy, healthy pregnancy and birth. And doing these things and partnering with us while we partner with you to work to decrease these disparities in this country can help get you there.
Above we have James Sims. He is known as the father of modern day gynecology. A lot of his surgical tools that he invented, a lot of his surgical techniques that he used back in the day, we still use today in our gynecology world. So let's get into his practices, which were very questionable because he did a lot of things against African American women's will. They did not consent to a lot of things. Actually, they didn't consent to any of it. Let me not even sugarcoat it. So let's get into this gentleman right here. Not too much on him, but he was born in 1816 in South Carolina, I believe, and he is obviously known as one of the best physicians to ever be a physician. But his practice, like I said, are very questionable. The picture above, I'm going to assume that the young lady on the table is an archer, and the 2 in the back are Betsy and Lucy. Those are the 3 main enslaved women that he wrote about a lot in his book. He did open up the first women's hospital in Alabama, and he also opened up the first women's hospital in New York. The first hospital that he opened was in the middle of basically the trading spot. So what slave owners would do, they would bring their slaves to him for them to be operated on, so they were able to reproduce, because obviously slaves reproducing brings in more money, because then you have more people to work the fields, things of that sort. So he started off as that type of doctor, and in 1845, I believe, he came across a young lady who had given birth, and she had a condition that is called vesicovaginal fistula. And I'm going to basically give you a visual on what it is. It typically happens after childbirth. It can happen without childbirth too, but back then it was very, very common after childbirth. It wasn't fatal or anything like that, but it was very, very painful. So basically what happens is the bladder, the cervix, and the vagina becomes trapped within the fetal skull and the mother's pelvic. That then leads to cutting off the blood flow, which then leads to tissue death, which then leads to you not being able to control your urine. So they would pee and it'll get places where it ain't supposed to be, so it'll lead to like infections. It's painful, but it's not fatal. But he was the first to successfully operate and close that up and make that good again. But it did come at the expense of, obviously, an enslaved person. Because, and it's crazy because, they were not able to consent. So it's not like they refused because they couldn't refuse because they were a slave, but they also didn't give consent. Now, keep in mind, the biggest controversy about his experimental surgeries is that all of this was done without anesthesia. Nothing was given to these women as they were being operated on at all. Crazy, inhumane, right? I know. And Archer, he wrote about a lot. She was a young mulatto girl, and mulatto basically means mixed. And she was brought to him because she was in labor for 3 days, right? She had a stillborn, and he operated on her at least 34 times without anesthesia. So I would definitely credit her for a lot of medical things that we now go through today, because her body was put up for us to have the medical procedures that we have today, the medical knowledge that we have. Now above it was his house, and he had a hospital in the back. It was literally called like a backyard hospital or something like that. It was actually not common for women to be operated on or to even be treated, so he was the first to kind of step into that field also. Although when he stepped in, he stepped in. His time, I should say, he was credited for inventing the specula that we still use today. But obviously how he invented it and how it came about probably wasn't as less painful than it is now, so, but he is credited for inventing that tool that we still use today. These were the main that he operated on. But like I said, people would bring their slaves to him to perform procedures and things of that sort. Just basically experimental surgeries. Or an older slave and you could not reproduce, or, the slave owner just did away with you. They would bring you over to Dr. Sims. That's just kind of how it went. It's unfortunate, but that's definitely how it went. Go on to move to New York like in the late 1850s, I believe. And he opened up a women's clinic in New York where he then operated on white women. They had anesthesia, all that stuff. The minimum that he gave the black females was chloroform and opiates. Anesthesia was available, just to throw that out there. He just chose not to use anesthesia because, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but back in the day, black people were known not to feel pain. Because we weren't human, remember? Like, we didn't feel anything. We weren't normal. We were just these magical people. We are magical. We are definitely magical. But we didn't feel pain. So we got the short end of every stick there was with the experience. Statues were dedicated to the 3 women, Lucy, Betsy, and Archer. September of 2021 in Alabama. They are called mothers of gynecology because without them and their bodies being sacrificed at the hands of Dr. Sims, we wouldn't have the techniques and the tools that we have today in modern day medicine. Although it was done by an evil man with probably no conscience, they deserve credit. As far as Dr. Sims go, he had a statue in Central Park in New York, which was removed in 2018. I'm pretty sure they still got it somewhere. It ain't to the public, but y'all know how they go. He still is definitely being worshipped somewhere else, but no longer in the public eye because of his experiments that he did on black people. Were treated as guinea pigs, and it's not right. You know, that was just something I wanted to share. Like, you can look more into his practices. You can look more into them, their lives, their descendants, and all of that. But I just wanted to say that real quick because I don't think that they're talked about enough at all. And I don't think a lot of people know about them. So I decided to share my knowledge with you guys. Let me know if you knew about this, you know, because I feel like it's something that everyone should know about, you know. But once again, that ain't how the world goes. But
take a long look at this painting that's being hung up in the state capital of Alabama. This young man's name is James Marion Sims. He perfected his surgical techniques by operating on enslaved black women without anesthesia because he believed black women didn't feel pain. He described his experimental surgeries on his subjects as being so painful that none but a woman could bear them. But what he really meant was a black woman. After perfecting his techniques on enslaved black women without anesthesia, Sims then went on to Europe to offer these procedures to, well, wealthy white women, who were, by the way, sedated. The father of gynecology, as many know him as, wouldn't be nothing if it weren't for our people. For more information on what black people actually went through in the medical field, check out this book, Medical Apartheid, The Dark History of Medical Experimentation on Black Americans from Colonial Times to the Present by Harriet A. Washington. It's a great read.
Like, seriously, lovelies, you know, when I posted a video, I think it was 2 days back, about a particular our doctor asking this question, that I even have to, like, you know, post a video of, you know, colored people replying to his question. He went to ask the reason why you know, black women or even black people, you know, entirely often go to a medical, you know, examination with either their partner, their friends, or, you know, whichever person they can lay their hands on. And if they're not able to meet up with these said persons mentioned, you know, they often come for the you know, medical examination with their phones, and they are always on, you know, facial, you know, time with their relation. Then he went ahead to ask, why is it that, you know, black people always do this, and why is it also that he, as a medical practitioner, he respect the fact that he have you know, a client, and he go ahead to off his phone or maybe put it on silent. Why is it that we do that? And a lot of people, you know, stitched that video and was giving the reason why and how it has been in the history of how, you know, black people was treated before and even now. And in the medical field, these people are treated like less likely. And this actually, you know, got me, you know, to the reason why this is even actually a thing. And then I was just going through my For You, and I was just, you know, I stumbled across this first video that I stitched that where this, you know, pan-colored woman was actually explaining the reason why they felt so. That they felt that you know, black women or black people's skin are very strong and we don't feel pain. Like, what kind of thing is that? What kind of, you know, what kind of reasoning is that? So these people thought that we don't even feel pain at all. We do not feel pain. Maybe we are just less of human beings. We don't feel pain. We don't know what pain is all about. This is why sometimes, even in times of bearing and all of that, you see women in labor even screaming for painkillers, or even some women or some black people in the hospital, probably they're into some kind of one pain or the other. When they scream out loud for pain, these people are being neglected, or because this study code of black people or black skin do not feel any sort of pain. Like, we have a natural pain observer. Like, how is it even possible? Like myself, if I even hit my feet somewhere, or like, I don't, if there's a side of thing I don't even want to see, and these people have the mentality of we do not feel pain. Then when I saw her stage, there was like, there are not video like so many of these videos, a lot of you guys usually tell me that, okay, I should just, post most of the stitches. There are so many things that we see when we post it, a lot of people like they don't want to go into it because people are just shying away from the truth. It's not everyone that would boldly come out to do this truth of a thing, or to like all this kind of research with it. It's not everybody that would just want to, stitch it or talk about it. That's why it's as if we say less stitches and all of that. It's not as if we don't want to, but it's not everyone that wants to come out and tell this truth. There are not many of us that want to do that, So as a result of this stitch that I saw, the colored woman talking, I want to actually get to the root of this. I want to know the reason why. Does this has to do with or something that happened in the past, or does it have to do with maybe history, or how is it that we do not feel pain? How is it that they thought that because of the color of our skin we don't feel pain? Like we have a natural pain observer. Like, how is it even possible? And me, as a dark person, as a black woman, I feel pain. Like, I know what pain looks like. Then I stumbled across this longer stage that I just staged, where it all started, like the genesis of it. So, like, the more I want to think about it, the more I don't even know what to like expect anymore. Do you guys know that our ancestors actually passed through a lot of things? Like, they've been used for experiment or sort of experiment. Like, so because these people don't even care about how anyone feels about it, all they all want to care is some group of people that could just do their job, some people that will just come reproduce, give birth and keep on reproducing, why they keep getting themselves richer and richer, why they use these people, get them pregnant and do some kind of examination with them. Like, seriously, like, just look at what our ancestors have to pass through. How could you operate on someone without any kind of pain medicals, without any kind of thing to add to this, so that she could just feel less pain? She was being operated multiple times without any pain administration, without anything to actually ease our pain. Do you know what it is to be, without any pain administration? And funny enough, this kind of treatment is still happening. It's still happening. So is it because of this, or is it because of this history that made these people to think that, okay, I think these people, they don't feel pain? That is why, even if you're calling out, yelling for painkillers or for pain relief or any sort, they just turn blind eyes. They were like, oh my gosh, she want to abuse it, or he want to abuse it. They don't feel nothing. Like, is this what you guys have been told about this melanin? You think melanin do not feel pain? Like, me as a melanin, I feel pain. I feel pain. Your skin color has nothing to do with pain. The same way you feel pain as a pan colored, that is the same way every other person feel pain. Animals feel pain. Animals feel pain. If you hit a dog, the dog feel pain. Anything you do, any living thing feel pain. Like, every living thing feel pain. There is nothing like, because of the way you are or because of the color of your skin, you don't have to feel pain. Like, seriously, what kind of a mentality is this? Is this the reason why, pan colored is being treated the way they have been treated in the medical field? Like, there's a video I saw. Somebody was actually comparing a pan-colored woman in labor and that of a black woman in labor. The way they handle a pan-colored is so special compared to the way they just neglect you because they feel that, oh my god, she already have a pain observer because of the color of like, how could you think something like that? How could you? Just because you feel that this person, oh my god. So they went as far as doing this kind of examination with a slave. So because she was able to endure all those things, and you feel that this is how all the living things looks like. Like, seriously. When I saw the first stage, I was like, there should be more to this. Then I came across this, I was like, so they have to really do some kind of practical. And with the practical and what they have to conclude is, okay, I think this set of people do not feel pain. Like, seriously. Is this what? Do you know that there's something I saw? They were talking about how something that has to do with melanin that keeps making, people of my type to disappear and all of that. Anyway, lovelies, why not just leave your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video, and do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying, harassment or whatsoever. We're just here for educational purposes. So please share this video, subscribe to this channel if you're here to do that, and I will see you lovelies when I upload the next one. Watch up to this extent. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Don't forget to please leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video, and do not forget that this channel, we do not support any form of bullying, harassment or whatsoever. We're just here for educational purposes. So please share this video, subscribe and leave your thoughts, and I will see you lovelies when I upload the next one.